everyone. I'm bringing the camera a little closer so you can hear me a bit better. This is just going to be a very quick video because there's a lot of noise in the background where I am today. But I just wanted to talk about something that I felt was very important that I've been meaning to record for a couple of days now, and that is the concept of having a break by not creating. I think it's a very strange concept, particularly as someone who has been heavily in the literacy and literary world for so long. But something that I found as a writer that is a benefit to me as a writer is being able to take a step back from my work. Actually, one of my greatest growing points has just been over the past summer, where I honestly didn't write that much at all. But when I did it just for myself. But beyond that, I filled my time with other pursuits, other art, podcasts, reading a lot of books, and also studying them critically as well, reading with an awareness and taking into consideration certain elements that they were doing, certain pieces that they were using. So my experience as a writer influenced my downtime, but I allowed it to be downtime. And I think that's something that gets buried a lot in the creator community, and also part of the literary community and the education community as well, where our society has built this perception that you have to go. You can't stop. You can't alter your pathway. You can't slow down, or else something is going to happen, or you're going to lose your edge, or something is going to befall you, or that you can't truly enjoy something unless you devote any and all waking moments to it. And if that's what you do, then that's fine. Some people thrive in, high stress or high competition, or some people enjoy, always doing things that they love constantly. But I also feel that it is important to note that burnout does exist. And for some people, particularly myself as an example, I can't turn away from a project once I start, depending on the type, especially education. Basically, for example, I just had a essay that I am still currently working on, but I could not allow myself to stop until I felt that I had a solid base. What made this very difficult is there would be times where I would be exhausted, or I just didn't feel well over the past weekend. But trying to take time off to rest made me feel guilty because I was not working on my essay. And I feel that it is important to allow oneself to step away, even in the workplace as well. Of course, you take this in with context. If you're in person and you're tutoring students and an entire class comes in, then yeah, if you've been working for a few hours, you have to work for a little bit more, so that way you and your coworkers don't be overwhelmed. But even just taking like 10 to 15 minutes to step away, grab a snack, watch YouTube just for that one section of time and allow yourself to stop is incredibly beneficial in the long run. This feeling that you shouldn't have burnout because it's something you enjoy is such a huge fallacy, and it's something that I myself have been battling with. And I just feel it's very important to note and to bring awareness to it, and to also normalize the idea of being able to take breaks and being able to find joy in what you do by not doing it for a while, by finding other pursuits, by, just even vegetating for a little bit, watching some TV, watching YouTube, listening to music, something that engages you while also allowing you to stop thinking about something for a while. Because it will give your mind time to rest and time to recuperate. And then when you come back to it, you'll all of a sudden find yourself recognizing things that you didn't before, or all of a sudden you feel that you've leveled up a little bit with your writing because you have had that time to stop and let your subconscious regroup. And it again applies to education as well, and with being a mentor. My earlier work example that I just did a minute ago, or as a student, as you're working on stuff, you have kind of this inclination to rush until, or to not rush, but to push until everything is done, which is great, and that's fine, and that's a good goal, to get ahead of the curve. But it is also just as important to say, this is not due until Wednesday. Today is Monday. I have a rough draft done. I can give myself an evening to have tea, to sit down, to read a book, to watch a show that I enjoy, and to just stop. And it's just something, it's not necessarily related to a literacy narrative or to a literary community in the way that a lot of my other posts and videos are likely going to be, but it's something that I feel is vital to include nonetheless, because it's something that is related to a deeply personal aspect, something that does need to be addressed and often isn't. And it's just something that I feel is behind the scenes, but is a very integral part of the situation, because it's shaped who I am as a writer and who I am as a member of this community. Before, when I pushed myself a lot harder, I didn't feel that my skills were growing. I always had myself under the microscope. I constantly felt like I wasn't achieving what I should be achieving. And this past summer, I feel like I've actually genuinely grown as an individual, and I feel like I have grown as a writer, and I feel like I have grown as a mentor, because I allowed myself to have other interests and to allow myself time to stop and to just exist. And because of that, I feel that it has really benefited me in the long run. I feel it will benefit other individuals too. And it's just something that has become a cornerstone of my narrative and in growing who I am as an individual. And I just thought it was something important that I needed to share as well. So if you're a content creator like me, or if you're a mentor like me, or if you're just somebody who is part of the student body, I think it's important that you also take time to rest a little bit, and you take time to not just rest to self-assess, but rest to rest. You know, take 15 minutes, watch a YouTube video, you know, have a snack, close your eyes, have a face mask, something to just let your mind rest. And it will genuinely help in the long run. It's something that I think we all could stand to recognize a bit more.